All right, folks. It is Monday. It is time to get going with our daily trading. Thank you for being here. I am Pepper. This is Godly Trading, and this is our daily live trading room. We're going to dive right in. By the way, today the markets were closed here in the U.S., so not a lot happened. But what is today? Today is, I can't remember if it's George Washington's birthday or President's Day. One of those two. Well, before we get started, I want to go over this right here. That is our verse of the day. One of the things I highly recommend for everyone before you trade any given day is just read the chapter of Proverbs for that day. And this jumped out at me. So here in Proverbs 16, today is obviously February the 16th. It says, commit your works to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. We often think of the other way around, that we have to think first and God will establish our works. That if we're in a right mindset with God, that he will make things work out for us. But this is the other way around. It says, commit your works. Have your actions in alignment with God in the first place. And then he will change your thought process. And then if you scroll down, well, you don't have to scroll down if you got your actual Bible open. This is 16:9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. So that's the other side of it. If we commit our works to God first, he changes our thoughts. How many times in your trading have your thoughts gotten in the way? Oh, this isn't going to work out, or that's not going to work, or hey, just buy, or just revenge trade. How many times have your thoughts led your actions? This says the other way around. Our actions should come first, and then God will give us the thoughts to say, and then we plan in our heart what to do, and the Lord directs our steps. And I love that. So we don't have to worry about outcomes. When it comes to trading, don't worry about the outcomes. Worry about the process. Worry about following your plan. Trade your plan. It's the farmer mindset. Just plant your seed and let God handle the rest. So that's my recommendation for today. Read a chapter of Proverbs every day before you trade. I love today's news events for the week is interesting. By the way, if you are a Forex trader, tomorrow night we've got, what does the R stand for in Bank of New Zealand? Reserve, Royal, one of those two possibly. They've got an interest rate announcement. New Zealand typically goes first when in the realm of cutting. They're not expected to do anything tomorrow night, but you never know. And then we've got some interesting things happening. The day to watch out for this week, especially for U.S. traders, is on Friday. We've got GDP and CPI and PCE, and basically GDP and producer index. I forget what PCE stands for. But anyway, watch out for that for you day traders out there. Okay, let's take a quick look at. I noticed this morning my Forest Gold automated system did take a trade last night. Let's see, when was this? So you can see the Forest system got in on this pullback to the 30 here. Went about, oh goodness, about 2/3 of the way to stop out, and then now it's just sort of hovering around the entry. So not a lot has happened, but this is what this system is built to do. You can see right now, it's up just a little bit, and it was up at most. This is interesting. So I said I came about maybe 80% of the way to getting stopped out. And then I came roughly 90% of the way to hitting my first take profit. And it's pulled back. That's all right. This thing will do what this thing is going to do. I haven't had a chance to go over and look at the Bob system. And Bob's still way negative. Bob's having a tough last 7 days, which is okay. You don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. Your trading's never going to be just all sunshine and rainbows. And when it does, by the way, be sure and test your system to know not only what to expect from a return standpoint, but to know what to expect from a wins and losses standpoint. And I don't mean just like 60% win rate. I mean, what can you expect from an average win streak and losing streak, and what can you expect from a maximum win streak and losing streak? If I know that my system back tests to, and by the way, you're going to hear me preaching on back testing. It's just, you don't know anything unless you've tested your system. But if you think back to us and say, hey, you can expect seven winning trades in a row, and you've had 7 winning trades in a row, well, maybe it's time to start preparing yourself emotionally for that winning streak to come to an end. So what are we in right now? We're in euro pound. We are in euro pound. Oh, hang on. We're over here on the demo tracking one. Give me 1 second. Switch over to this setup. And now we'll find euro pounds. And so we got into it last week on the 10th, and it's just been kind of sliding sideways and down since then. Nothing to do, really. None of my very few rules have been triggered right now. Take a quick look. Aussie yen, nothing to do there. Aussie Kiwi. We're in this one from a tracking standpoint. Probably that one got hit our trailing stop. I'll have to look at that. I didn't get a chance over the weekend to do my demo tracking. One of the benefits of doing it like that is you don't have to be doing it live every day. Nothing there, nothing there. Oh, we're in that one. Euro yen. This trade we talked about, there was a demand zone down here that we were avoiding, which is why we didn't get into that one. Nothing there. Pound Swiss. Nothing. Pound. Oh, that was the one. What was it? Looked at euro yen. We looked at that one, and then on Thursday. Oh, Thursday we were too far, and then the rule is I get 2 candles. I think price has been in consolidation for a while. Yeah, it probably has. Which particular market are you referencing? The one that I'm showing up here on the screen, or which market are you talking about? Let's see. Pound Aussie, nothing and nothing. This happens most days. You scroll through, there's nothing to do. I mean, look at that. How often are these pairs inside no man's land? That's the beauty of this particular setup that I have, is that it keeps you out of things. If you're a trend trader, it keeps you out of sideways consolidation. And nothing to do there. Okay. Now let's jump over to Franc. Franc is the one that's been moving the best this year so far. So far, I am in 9 trades, which is a lot for me. And I've got 1 more to get into. So I looked earlier being about 10 minutes ago, mostly USD-related Forex pairs. Yeah, I think so. Just real quick. Let's take a look. I would say, by the way, if you're a chart pattern person, you got a W forming right here. So if that is your reason for getting in, you've got which is also called a double bottom. So you'd be going long right now to try to take advantage of this W formation, right? This is the way that those chart patterns work. Say it's gonna be going up. Will it? Well, that's up to you. US Swiss, you could say that's, we're sort of been going sideways since end of January. US CAD, they're all kind of looking about the same. Not a lot has happened. You can see our US trades that we're in. Matter of fact, all of the trades that we're in currently are pretty much going sideways. Really, couldn't be more sideways. Do I have anything that's moving a lot? The answer to that is no. None of these 9 trades that we're currently in have been moving anywhere. I trade narrative-based concepts, mainly supply and demand. I love supply and demand. Got my own little supply and demand zone tool here that I can turn on and off. Once you see supply and demand, it's hard to unsee it, to be honest. But we do have a new trade here on Aussie yen. You can see the yen pairs are moving up, and we've got a Franc setup, which means, let me just explain it again. So we have a whole moving average that is green. This is a 45. There's a reason it's a 45. I won't go into that. And we got the 200 down here. And this just shows what the 200 would be if it was on my chart. I try to keep clean charts. So everything is green, so we can only go long. Cannot go short. It's one of the things I love about this system and other systems like it. When you know exactly if you're going to go long or short, and you can never go the other. It's clarity. It's one of the reasons that I teach biblical concepts when it comes to trading, because our God is a God of clarity, simplicity. And so this system says, hey, if it's green, we're going long. We're not ever going short. There's never a question about it. You never have to worry. You never have to guess. You never have to go with gut instinct. Green, green, going long. And then you wait for an engulfing candle, which is what we have right now. So Aussie yen, we are going to go long right now live. So Aussie yen, I'm going to go over here to Match Trader, which I don't really like, but it's the platform that my prop firm put me into. So it's what I've got. Make sure I'm on a daily chart. We are. And all right, so we're going to set up this trade right now. So we're going to go long the Aussie yen, the AUD JPY. So this is going to be a pending order because these are always stop orders, which are good because it gives you a little confirmation. So the high of today, which is one of the reasons I love this system, is you never have to ask, where do I get in and where's my stop? My entry is always the high, and my stop is always either the low of today or the low of yesterday, whichever one of those two is lower. So it's going to be, I'm going to have a buy stop order right up here, and I'm going, here, let me just go ahead and put this little doohickey on the chart. I'm going to have a buy stop order there, and I'm going to have a stop loss order there, and I'm going for 1-to-1. Could I go for more? Yeah, I could, and maybe I will, but not just yet. So there's my setup. So we're going to go, the high of today is 108.89. So that's going to be our entry price, 108.89. And our stop loss is going to be the low, in this case, of yesterday, which is going to be 107.67. Stop loss is 107.67. That gives us a total of 1,220 points, which is what we're going to make our take profit, because we're going 1-to-1, 1220. All right, there's our setup. Now we just got to, this is what I love about these kind of systems. Set your stop loss, right? Pick a spot on the chart that is repeatable and objective. Don't ever, let me be very emphatic. Don't ever gut instinct your stop loss. Find a way to set your stop loss in a place that has a logically, an objectively logically, that's kind of redundant, place, right? Whatever the method is, it needs to be repeatable every single. That's why I love ATR, right? ATR is just math. It doesn't argue with you. What is the ATR today? All right, there's your stop loss. Supply and demand zones are good, but what if you have a couple to choose from? Which one do you do? By the way, one of the things I will do in that case, I'll turn on ATR. Hey, where does the ATR line coincide, or where does the 50 moving average coincide? Let's pick that zone. All we need is something that is repeatable and logical. Some place where if you get stopped out, you're okay with it because it meant that, hey, this is the best way to put it that I can think of. Where would price have to be to prove to you that you were wrong about the direction of the trade? I think the Aussie yen's going up. So what would price need to do to disprove that theory of mine? So, think of every trade as a scientific experiment. Every trade is, hey, I think that price is going up, or I think price is going down. And that's my hypothesis. And I'm going to prove that by trading it. And my criteria on success or failure is, if price goes to here, up, I get out at my take profit, it proves I was right. If price goes down to here, down, it hits my stop loss and it proves I was wrong. And in either case, I'm okay because I was proven right or wrong. It wasn't that I was right or wrong. The hypothesis was right or wrong. And so you can take an emotional step back and just look at it objectively. So pick a spot on your chart for your stop loss that if price hit it, you'd be like, okay, yeah, clearly price was not going up, going up. So in this case, if an uptrend is a series of higher highs and higher lows by definition, then by definition, if we put in a new low, we clearly are not in an uptrend. So that's why I love this kind of a system. It's just dead simple. So now I'm going to adjust my position. So once you have that line drawn, doesn't matter if your stop loss is this big or this big. It's still going to be 1% or still going to be 0.5% or still going to be whatever it is, right? Your risk management is the most important thing you'll ever do. So $50 is what I risk. 0.5%, I should say. 0.5% is what I risk. Right now, 0.5% would be like $50.50. So I'm just going to adjust my position size till this right here, this number of 795 equals, but doesn't go over, gets as close to, but not over $50. So right now it's at 47.68. That's as close as I can get without going over. That's 55.63, not doing that. So buy stop, and boom, there's my brand new order on Aussie yen. And here's the beauty of this kind of a system. If tomorrow, or 15 minutes from now, when the new Forex day rolls around, if price just falls off a cliff, I never get triggered. No harm, no foul. And this particular setup would expire worthless. Uh, I agree with you. Once the trend changes, I'm happy to let my trade be valid. Yeah. You say, hey, I think it's going to go up. Oh, well, turns out I was wrong. Because you never know when a pullback turns into a trend reversal. We don't know on the front end. Can you touch on the importance of the role of confidence in winning trades? When I'm teaching students, one of the first things that they need is, and bless my heart, this is why my producer should be in here. Y'all didn't see at all what I just did. So just so you can see what I did, I entered this trade here on Aussie yen. Bless my heart for not showing you on the screen. Brand new trade in front of you live. All right, confidence. So one of the I'm gonna put it here. One of the things that people come to me and say, hey, can you teach me to trade? Can you, I'm not successful, blah, whatever it is. What they need initially, more than money, and they would argue with this, but more than money, what they need is confidence. And so with trading, everything is a trade-off. You're going to have this or that. There's a needle that you can move, and it goes back and forth between this and that. For instance, I'm a swing trader. I trade for, you guys see it, trade for half an hour a day. And, I shoot for 2 to 5% a month. 5% is a fantastic month for me, combined across all strategies. Could I make 10% a month? Could I make 20% a month? Probably. But I wouldn't be able to swing trade like this. I would have to be in front of my screens more. And so it's a trade-off that I'm willing to make. I'll trade less of my time. And as a result, I'm buying back my time. There's a biblical concept there, redeeming the time for the days are difficult. So I'm buying back my time. I'm giving up some return in order to get back some of my time. So when I am teaching people and say, hey, the first thing you need more than anything else is not money, but confidence. You just need to feel like I can do this. So we're going to design a system that has a higher win rate, 60, 70, 80% win rate. In order to do that, we're going to have to give up some return, 40, 30, 20. We're never going before 20. When I'm helping people design systems, we don't stop testing and working until we get to 20%. 20% is the minimum per year. Why? Because it's number one, it's double the S&P. You just dropped your money in the S&P, you're making 10%. And two, it's what Warren Buffett makes. So initially, we're going to give up some return. Hey, let's not shoot for 30% or 40%. Let's shoot for 20%. But let's shoot for a 70% win rate. Why? Because you, the person who's struggling, need confidence more than anything else. You need to be able to every day go out there and trade your system and build on that foundation of, hey, this is working. I'm seeing some positive results. I'm feeling good about this. And then once you have developed all the discipline and you're rock solid up in here, sure, go trade a system with a 30% win rate. One of my favorite books on my shelf right now, it's the other shelf. It's called The Way of the Turtle with Curtis Faith. Highly recommend it. He talks about the system that he traded at the time had a 30% win rate, making him millions of dollars. Hey, what does the 30% win rate mean? That means you're losing 70% of the time. And for someone who's been doing it for decades, they're fine with that. For someone who's been losing for a year or two or three, 70% win rate will mess you up. So confidence in your system, confidence in developing winning trades. It's the energy drink. I don't drink energy drinks, but if I did, I'd have one on the table. It's the energy drink or the caffeine that gives you that initial boost that you can then go and keep going. So absolutely, trigger artist. It is initially one of the most critical things is to build confidence, because at the end of the day, what the enemy wants is for you to quit. Doubt and discouragement. I mentioned it in the book. Doubt and discouragement are the twin killers of traders. You think, I can't do this. Oh, why do I keep losing? Why do I keep making the same mistakes over and over again? Why can't I just win? I just want to win. Okay, fine. This isn't going to work out. Let me just quit. I've been there. I've done that. I've quit. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. So your goal number one is to stay in the game. Your goal number one is to do whatever it takes to make sure that you don't give up and quit. Even if it's, hey, I've got a system that's just basically break even, and that's okay. You're not losing money. Every trade that you take where you follow your rules is a successful trade, regardless of whether your balance went up or down. And the longer you can do that, you're just building muscle memory. I mean, I went out today and lifted weights, and I hate it, right? Because it hurts. Because I'm 51 years old. I'm old. But every single time I do this, even if I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die if I don't do it, I'm building muscle. The same thing. You're like, okay, fine. This trade's over with, and I gained a whopping $1. Big deal. You followed your rules. You built discipline. That is all that's important at the beginning. Most traders struggle for 2 or 3 years and quit. 95% is the number we hear. Oh, it breaks my heart. 95% of retail traders quit. And there's 1,000 reasons that they do. At the end of the day, doubt. Paul says, actually, it wasn't Paul. It's the writer of Hebrews. One day we will discover who the writer of Hebrews actually was. Hebrews 12:1 says something along the lines of, now let us lay aside every burden and the sin that so easily ensnares us. And I heard someone describe it, and I believe they're correct. The sin that so easily ensnares me and you and everybody watching is doubt. Did God really say? That's it. That's all it takes to plant a seed in your brain that eventually leads to you quitting. And so the more confidence you can build, the more ammunition you have against that voice in your head. Okay, let me move on to Forrest. Has just been going, speaking of dead sideways. Oh my goodness, what have I got here? The same two, CAD Swiss and Euro US. How long have I been in these two trades? Let me switch over to Forrest. This is my 30 period moving average, get in, set it and forget it system. CAD Swiss. What I love about swing trading. You can get it done in half an hour, move on with life. This thing we got into, when did we get into CAD Swiss? This trade was opened on activity orders. Well, I can't tell you. Hang on. CAD Swiss. We got into it probably somewhere around here, beginning of February. And yeah, we're about 60% of the way to our first take profit, but it's just slow. That's okay. That is what swing trading is all about. You look at it, and you move on. CAD Swiss is moving in our direction, which is good. Euro US is also still positive, although we're having this pullback. But look, this is absolutely understandable. Anytime you have a candle like this, see this candle right here? See this candle right here? Out of the ordinary, you're absolutely going to have a pullback from that. There is a very, dadgummit, hang on. There is a legitimate trading strategy called a reversion to the mean. And it has been on my list of strategies to build. By the way, guys, I was hoping to show you my my automated Frank strategy today, but I don't think I'm going to get there. So remind me tomorrow to show you the Frank robot. I've got the Forrest robot running, but let me show you the automated algorithm that I built for Frank. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why I'm not using it. I've got like 3 or 4 of these. My brother Pierre, he was trading. I think it was the Forrest algorithm a couple months ago. I'm like, hey, where'd you get that? He's like, I got it from you. What are you talking about? Where did I get it? I got it from you. My brain. Anyway, I was going to show you the Frank algorithm. I have to do it tomorrow. But anyway, anytime you have a big candle like that, you're going to have a snapback. And I was mentioning, there's a legitimate strategy out there, reversion to the mean. A lot of people trade it with Bollinger Bands. So you're going to have, let's turn Frank off and turn Forrest off. So a Bollinger Band would look something like this. It's going to be in here, and then it's going to get wide out, and it's really wide, and it's going to look like this, right? So this is what your Bollinger Band would look like. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, really bad look. And it's going to have a thing here in the middle. A lot of people trade Bollinger Bands when price touches the outside. They go short and then they exit here, and they go long and they exit. So basically, you're trading from the outside to the middle, the outside to the middle. Perfectly legitimate trading strategy, one that I have looked at in the past and have never had the focus or the concentration or the follow through to build. It's on my list of things to do. I just haven't gotten to it because this is one of the reasons I love a reversal. And I've actually got an automated version of this Bollinger Band reversal system because if you watched last week's YouTube video, talking about God's patterns, there are patterns in everything that we do. Everything goes in waves up, waves down. And so naturally, if you look at, let's say this is price. Price is going from top to bottom, well, you're going to be able to draw a line through here, which means when price gets a certain distance away, it goes back, and certain distance away, it goes back, and certain distance away, it goes back. So absolutely, this is following God's patterns and God's principles. Getting far away and coming back, getting far away and coming back. And if you like this kind of thing, build you a system around this is what we do, right? We've got a challenge coming up. The website to build it is under construction. The website to sell the tickets is under construction. But anyway, one of the things that any successful trader needs to do to be successful is to fully understand your system as if you built it yourself. Now, me personally, I love to teach people how to build their own systems. I'm in the don't give a man to fish, but teach a man to fish. Actually, mine is more teach a man to learn how to fish method. I'd like to teach people how to build their own systems. And this is one of those that absolutely anybody could go out and build for themselves. There are no new ideas. So many people come to me and they say, I just need a good strategy. Just what's the best strategy? Any strategy can work. That's what people don't understand about trading. Any strategy can work. Discipline is what makes you successful or not the strategy. Yeah, sure. This strategy might have a better return than that strategy by a little bit, but a simple moving average crossover strategy can absolutely work. If you don't believe me, go look at the Flat Earth Trading Society. I'll show you right now. Flat Earth Trading Society. Go to YouTube. And I love this for no other reason than it proves the point. I have no idea which YouTube channel this is going to be. I mean, is it going to be my account or? Okay, fine. We're not going to worry about that. Flat Earth Trading Society. Flat Earth Trading Society. Here we go. Everyone go out there and watch this video. Flat Earth Trading Summary at the end of the experiment. Watch this video. It is 32 minutes long, and it is worth every single minute because what it does is it proves this point. This guy, Rob something or other, Reinhold, wanted to prove the point that all that matters is risk management and discipline and trading at random. Picking stocks at random and trading with rock solid discipline. They made 15% in a year. Just absolutely fantastic. Couldn't agree any more than with what they have done there. So didn't intend to go off in that direction today. I mean, guys, you've been here long enough that you see my systems they're boring, right? My systems are as boring as watching paint dry. I'd love to try to get my buddy Isaac in here to show his morning system. I can get my brother Pierre in here to show his opening gap S&P futures system. But at the end of the day, any system can work. Find it. Don't even have to find it. Just pick one. Test it. Make sure that you understand it. And then go trade it on demo the same way every single day. Just set your success goal as I'm going to have 5 steps, and every single day I'm going to check all 5 boxes of those 5 steps. And that's all I care about. I just want to have 30 days in a row. Well, okay, there's not 30 trading days in a month. I think there's 22 trading days in a month. And then that's all I care about. I just want a big giant green check mark on my wall calendar every day. And if I can get 30 days of those, I'm successful. Doesn't even matter what the money. Hang on, I saw a comment come in. Boring is best helps remove the emotions from the trade. Yes, absolutely. When trading becomes the equivalent of brushing your teeth. Like, guys, for me, I'm like, oh, today, right? I'm in the middle of web page building. I'm like, oh, I got to go trade because people are watching, right? And that's literally my attitude. And I was like, oh, I got to go trade. I love trading, but it's just this thing that I do. I put it in last week's video. Trading is your activity. Trading is not your identity. So with that, I am officially one whole minute over. So I will see you guys tomorrow.